Thank you for coming, folks, and taking the time to check us out a little bit deeper. My name's Jennifer Alice Murray. I am out here in Kauai, Hawaii, where the rain hath fallen very hard all night. We're a little shaken, putting ourselves back together, but we gather here every week to basically give you a look at the business side of Life Vantage. Probably someone has already introduced you to the products. We talk a lot about our products. We love our products. They're over the moon, effective and life changing. But we gather here because most people really don't have any idea how much of a golden ticket they have in their hands when network marketing comes along. There are a lot of sort of outdated opinions out there. And so this is your invitation to upgrade your opinions and check in to what network marketing really looks like in 2021. Because a lot of things have changed. Even before this past year, a lot of things have changed in the business world, in the marketplace. But certainly in the last year, a lot of us found ourselves in a very different situation than we had ever anticipated. And all of us who had already accepted the golden ticket were already in, what amounts to a proactive state, right? We didn't have to go into a reactive state when the world changed because we had already spent time getting ourselves into a proactive state, creating additional streams of income, diversifying, and also a proactive state with our health, obviously, with the products. We have a really great call later today at 2:30 Hawaii time, 4:30 Pacific, and 7:30 Eastern, with Kamaile, who goes over really in depth what the products are, A to Z, kind of unpacks that whole bag. But for tonight, like I said, sticking to the business. My experience in business has been quite varied. I lived in San Francisco 20 years ago. I had a hemp and organic cotton clothing company there. It was fun. It was creative. It was all consuming. Anybody who owns their own business knows their own business pretty much owns them. Your feet are nailed to the floor, especially if you have an actual physical location. Which I also did when I moved here to Kauai. I joined my sister in owning and running her restaurant, which was amazing and super rewarding. Another fun and creative path, and a really well-received product. We had a product that was pretty killer. We won Best Restaurant on Kauai, winning out over five-star resorts and world-class chefs to, but in the long run, the ins and outs of running a restaurant are many, are incredible, are overwhelmingly stressful. And when the market dived in 2008, we shut it down because there's just no way to survive an economy when you have 50 mouths to feed and an economy that's crashing in a tourist environment. And so it didn't really matter that people wanted to line up around the block for that product. It was gone overnight, essentially. And I transitioned into being a cookbook author. I was super, super lucky to have a lot of doors open up for me in that field. And that's what I was sort of humming along doing when this network marketing opportunity came to me. I thought, no way in a million years was I going to transition from being a cookbook author into something like this. But the product grabbed me. It took pain out of my body. It gave me life back into my life. And I just decided to sort of dabble, basically, to join the company because I knew I was going to tell other people, right? People knew I got migraines. People knew I had been suffering from back pain for years. I knew they were going to ask why I wasn't suffering anymore and that I would tell them. And that is the basic, building block of what this industry is. It's just people telling people, a company that uses word of mouth as their advertising. And so I joined very simply, having no idea that I had a golden ticket in my hand, no idea whatsoever. And then just sort of had the real life experience of working as a private chef, doing catering jobs for retreats mostly, focusing in on that work for weeks at a time and coming up for air and finding that this little side hustle that I had started was growing without me. A little thing called leverage, a very, very big thing called leverage, started to really dawn on me that while I was busy doing something else, more people were telling more people about these products, and my check was growing. I was going to make more money, and I had not done anything. And that was shocking. That had not happened in any of the businesses that I had chosen up to that point. And that, along with not having to do it alone, not having to be in a really competitive, like overwhelming industry, like being an author out there in one of the most popular field that just kind of overnight became one of the most popular fields to write a book in, the food industry. I got enticed by doing this with other people, helping people feel better, and just basically by how simple and streamlined it is that I can hop on Zooms, talk to people all over the world, share the information, and the ball is in your court. So this is your golden ticket. We are placing it in your lap, and it is up to you what you would like to do with it. I am going to turn the time over to a couple other fantastic women here. First is going to be Julie Mai. Julie is someone that I met at the very beginning of my Life Vantage journey when I had, like I said, just sort of tiptoed into a business that I thought was going to be about selling products. And I showed up to a distributor training, and Julie was there with a stack of books about the industry. And she didn't teach me anything about selling products. She wanted to talk about building a global empire from home. That is what had sparked her, and her vision was so huge and so massive that I had to really turn the channel and try and tune in to, could this possibly be true what she was saying? Could we, from this little island that is 25 miles wide, separated from the rest of the world by thousands of miles, could we actually build an international business on some simple, gentle, but powerful herbal products? And of course, here we are, 7.5 years later. The answer is yes, a thriving yes. Julie Mai, take it away.
Thank you, Jennifer. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, gosh, good thing that vision was accurate, right? I think in the beginning, you guys, with this type of thing, I think it's hard to see something that hasn't come to fruition yet. And where I found myself, I'm just going to share a little bit about my story. And just first of all, I just want to thank you for being here. I know, if you're a guest, you just kind of took a leap of faith, and that's kind of what we all did when we saw this information. And for myself, 7.5, 8 years ago, when this came my way, I was in an interesting position. I was building a incredible jewelry design company. I had two little girls at the time. My husband was a full-time mason, and we were really busy. From the outside looking in, we were successful. We had a nice house. We had beautiful kids. Everything looked good, but on the inside, I was screaming for something different. And I know I say this because I know I wasn't alone. I know I'm still not alone. I think now more than ever, so many people in the world are looking to the future of what they're going to do. There has to be a better way. There has to be something different that I can do because the world has changed so much. But for myself, I found myself just sick and tired. I was sick and tired of doing the same thing day in and day out and getting the same result, but wanting something different. And I knew as a mom, if spending time with my kids was the most important and raising them was the most important, and yet work was always coming first, the deadlines were always coming first, how was I going to get back to being that present mom that I wanted to be? And I was open to possibility, but I'll be honest, I didn't know what that looked like. I was never, we're not trained how to be network marketers in school. We really don't know much about it unless, like Jennifer said, a friend comes to you and shows you this opportunity. And unfortunately, it's extremely misunderstood. So many people think it's something that it's not. And when it was kind of laid in my lap, I thought, like Jennifer said, I didn't want to be a salesperson. Here I am, a mom and a jewelry designer. Selling products was the last thing that I wanted to do. But I will tell you this, I realized that if you can be a part of a product or a service that changes people's lives, something that they're going to continue to use for months, if not years down the road, and you can be a part of that and you do your work one time and you get paid over and over and over, that is what caught my interest. That is what made me realize that we had something special, the golden ticket, like Jennifer said, where you can create a legacy, you can create a residual business that will continue to pay you. And that is what I got excited about, because as a business owner and an employee, I knew that if I didn't show up to work, then I wasn't going to get paid. I knew that if I didn't create, the jewelry for the store, then I wasn't going to get paid. Hold on one second. Ruby, there's a dog outside the door that keeps knocking on the door. I'm at my friend's house because our modem blew up last night in this crazy lightning storm. So anyway, you guys, I just got tremendously inspired about the potential. I decided not to listen to my neighbors and my best friends and people that were like, oh, that thing's a scam or those things never work. And what I decided to do is I decided to listen to extremely successful people in the world, people like Tony Robbins, people like Warren Buffett, people like Jim Rohn, incredible people who have had tremendous success, who either own, teach, or support network marketing. And I decided to pick up a book and read and see what this industry was all about and what not only could it do for me, but what it could do for everyone that I shared it with. And that's where that vision came from. That's where that excitement came from. And I ran with it. And how different my life is now compared to what it was then is absolutely extraordinary. The freedom that I have to be with my kids when I need to be with them, when life hits you and things happen and you don't have to worry about how you're going to pay the bills or how you're going to put food on the table. There's nothing more incredible than that. So I'm going to cue up a little video before I introduce our guest, which I'm so excited for y'all to hear from. But this is a video of Tony Robbins explaining why network marketing is the business of the 21st century.
You've been around a long time. You've seen a lot of different things.
I have.
What are your thoughts about network marketing in general? And what is your thoughts about the decision that people can make to become entrepreneurs using it?
Well, it's interesting, I'm doing this program right now and I got a room, of a couple thousand people from 44 countries. They're all business owners. Some of them are businesses that are approaching $1 billion. Some of them haven't even started yet, right? They're just picking their business. So it's really variety. And one of my goals in that event is to actually get people to not go in business. And the reason it sounds horrible is someone spends $10,000 to come to an event. And I told them up front, some of you are not made for this, because to run a business requires a certain natural capacity, a nature, if you would, besides skills that you learn. And it's the ability to handle risk. It's the ability to handle stress. It's the ability to do a lot of different things. And you have to be able to manage finance. So most people, they have some of those skills. And that's why every year, 50% of businesses that start are out of business. You look at over any 5-year period of time, 80% are out of business, and over a 10-year period of time, only 4% make it. Now, make it, Eric, doesn't mean that they're making any money, right? That just means they're still standing. 96% fail, and after 10 years, you're set, right? No, look at Lehman Brothers, right? Around for a century, they did combined $1 trillion in revenue over that century, and they're gone. So the world, technology changes, products and services changes, it's so competitive. So to really be successful, it's a really unique situation. What's beautiful about network marketing is you get all the benefits of being an owner, but you don't have to be worrying about supply chain. You don't have to be worried about accounting, especially in the world we're in today. I mean, network marketing used to be a little bit more different, but today with technology, you can know what's happening in real time. The companies have already set up the software, they know what happens. So it's really picking the right company, and there's a lot of great companies in that area. And it's really realizing that you're really a value creator. If you can go out and add value to other people's lives, if you can just introduce people to a product or a service that a company you represent that truly is extraordinary, some products and services can't just be thrown up on Amazon. They need the story to be told. And if you found a product or service of that nature and you got a company that has a generous schedule of being able to reward you, and then you begin to get leverage where it's not just you, where you've multiplied your efforts to other people, then you get all the benefits of being a business owner without all the headaches and without the same level of risk. And so I think network marketing is amazing. Now, network marketing has a mixed reputation, and we all know that, right, in the marketplace. And anybody goes out to it, what are you doing? That's why you got to own yourself as a professional. I think that's why I'm supportive of what you do, because you're not just pumping people up, you're giving people real skill sets to be a pro.
So when I started to really research and understand, okay, no matter what business I start, no matter what I do, that light at the end of the tunnel is so far away. And to create the life that I want to create for my family and to have that freedom and to have those choices, I realized that this was absolutely the best option. And what I love most about what we do is it doesn't matter if you're a stay-at-home mom, it doesn't matter if you're a college student, it doesn't matter if you're an incredible hairdresser or a chiropractor or a, you know, a single dad, whatever you are, if you have a will and a desire to create a better life for yourself, this industry will give you that. I absolutely love that. And one thing is that I think is so important to understand that unlike traditional business where it's kind of the dog eat dog, you know, you'll never really surpass your boss. With this type of industry, you can't succeed unless you help other people succeed. You can't win unless you share everything that you know and want other people to become better than you. And that in itself, my friends, is so fulfilling and such a gift that we have to offer people. And I could just go on and on, but I'm going to pass the time over to someone dear to my heart, very special. We've been friends for many, many moons, many years, and she is probably one of my favorite people. And the reason for that is because she tells you how it is. She's straight up, shoots from the hip. She's not going to mess around. Whether you like it or not, she's going to give you what you need to hear versus what you want to hear. And I think sometimes we need that realness. We need people to really tell us what we need to hear so that we can move forward in life, so we can take that leap of faith and do something different. And Nikole, you are such a treasure in my life. And I know you're going to bless everyone on this call and really just share your story a little bit and tell people why, you know, coming from a very successful career, she's, you know, Nikole is a wife, a mother of two beautiful, beautiful boys, and one of the most probably sought after, if not the most sought after hair design stylist on our island, if not in the state and worldwide. She's incredible. So you left this incredible, successful career to do this. And I just want to know, you know, what that vision that you paint for your, you know, for your family and for your future and why you said yes to this. Thank you for being here.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That was so nice. Way to pump me up before we get going. I am so incredibly grateful to be here and to be able to hopefully drop some value and offer some insight from my perspective of what has been my experience in network marketing. It has been quite the whirlwind, quite the journey. And, you know, Julie Mai was one of the main people who opened my eyes to what this industry is. And it took me quite a long time to get here. So like Julie said, I am a mother of two. I have a beautiful stepdaughter also. So that is mother of three part-time. And when I first decided that it was time, I had known about network marketing. I knew what it could provide for people, but I decided to take an alternate route. I decided to become a small business owner. So I had been a licensed hairstylist for about 15 years before I decided that I was going to open my first retail store and try to create some supplement income. I was making a lot of money behind the chair, but it was killing me and I was just paying my bills. So I figured I could start another business, bring in some extra money, and that was going to be awesome. And it would allow me some time freedom in my life. So for anybody who has owned a small business, you're probably laughing at me. The reality is to be successful in network marketing, you can literally come from jail or you can come from Yale. It does not matter. I had a 10th grade education. I was a high school dropout, and I decided to choose the path of learning my life lessons the hard way. So we opened this retail store. It was wildly successful. It cost me $60,000 to start this business. I had to purchase a ton of inventory, get contracts, you know, down payments for things, what have you. It was very successful. We did $500,000, $500,000 in our first year out of a 200 square foot closet. It was very small, but what I did not realize was health insurance, employee taxes, and overhead. I had never experienced overhead because as a licensed hairstylist, right, I walk in, I do my due, you pay me, it's a one-time transaction, fast, easy cash, I pay my bills, next person, let's go. So I decided that that had become a lot. And at that time, I was a single mother of two young boys under the age of 5, under the age of 3 to 5. So we sold that business. We turned it for a profit, which was wonderful. I was like, yay, everybody thinks that I'm really great. You know, prestige was there. I had gained a little bit of a name for myself, you know, that started a business, sold it for some money in a very small community. And I decided that I was going to merge what I was already doing with that successful business. And that was going to be the problem solver. So I took that money, took out another loan, invested $100,000 in opening what was my own very first salon, which was my dream, right? I'm like working up the ladder here in my industry. Hairstylist, worked in Beverly Hills for 7 years, started my own company. Now I'm going to be moving into my own salon. And it was awesome. We had this huge party, 500 people showed up to celebrate, and it was incredible. And what happened was my life completely disappeared. And I started to become very bitter and very cynical. So people would walk by the salon and I was working 10 to 12-hour days. I was paying, you know, thousands of dollars for other people to raise my gorgeous 2 sons who I had very little relationship with. People would send me pictures from, you know, the field trips and the school plays, and it would kill me inside, but on the outside, like I would just tell myself, like, you don't have a choice. Like, this is just the, you know, cards you were handed, and you're doing the best you can. So just keep grinding away and killing yourself. So I did. I worked 10 to 12-hour days. People would walk by the door, including Julie Mai. And they'd be like, hey, can I get you anything? You know, and, you know, a juice or a coffee. And I'd be like, actually, you can give me your life. That would be awesome, because wherever you're going, I am here stuck, ball and chair or chain and chair, whatever it is, chained to my chair, very white and pale for living in the state of Hawaii, right? Like not going so well here for me, but from the outside, it looked great, right? I had just purchased a house. I was about to get married to this super hot guy who looks like he's fresh out of a Hawaii calendar, you know, Men of Hawaii ad. My kids were thriving in their sports. I was making money. I drove the car that I wanted. And you really had to know me on a personal level to know that I was struggling really bad on the inside. I'd come home, I would ice my hands, my back would hurt, I would fall asleep, you know, laundry in the washing machine, and wake up to put it in the dryer in the morning. And that was like my rotation in life. Breakfast, lunches, let's go back to work. And the Botox started getting more expensive. The, you know, the maintenance just to keep up, you know, and I'm, you know, rounding 40 here, and things weren't getting easier. The more successful I got, the busier and the more that was demanded of me, my body, and the less my family got, you know, and everybody was suffering all the way around. They say, you know, more money, more problems. Biggie said it. If you guys don't know Biggie Smalls said it. But it's true, you know, you're working your way up to something, and at some point you max out in most industries, right? So I had decided that I needed something different, and I decided to throw something that I could start to pour into, something that I could find that I loved, that I could pour into, that would start alleviating some of that financial stress. And I was just looking for a little, you guys, at first. And what happened is I got a taste of a little, and I needed it all. I saw a little tiny piece of my life come back, and it was over. So I was able to create a 6-figure income in my first year in network marketing, because I took this thing for every single opportunity it was worth. This is the most incredible platform to not only create a second source of income, right? Which everybody needs passive income, because you never know what's going to happen in life. And secondly, like, it's the most equal opportunity. Like I said, you don't need to know anything. You learn everything here. Everything is supported, everything is provided. And it, Julie says this, and it's one of my favorite quotes that I use all the time. It's definitely not a get rich quick scheme. There will be work that needs to go into this, but we're working anyway, right? So are you going to prolong the pain, or are we going to take this time that we have, this valuable time, while we have our health, while we have our families, while we have, something to work for, and be able to maximize on this time in our lives? So I decided to pour in to network marketing, give myself, I said, look, do as much as you can, as hard as you can, learn everything that you can, find the leaders, find the mentors. Julie Mai has been one of those people for me. She mentors me very closely all the time. I call her often for support and advice, because she has been able to, withstand this thing for the test of time, which is truly inspirational for me, because I've only been around for a short period of time and have been able to see some success, but not without reaching out to people who have walked the path before me. So to wrap it up very quickly for you guys, I had poured myself into network marketing on top of my business that I was working full time. So 10 to 12 hour days in the salon, doing paperwork, ordering, and then coming home to my family, planning a wedding, remodeling a house. The year that I decided to throw this in my life, just as an extra, right? I had made $358,000 behind the chair. I didn't necessarily need another source of income. I needed some relief in the end. I needed to know that that was at some point going to alleviate a little, and I would still be making that kind of money. But what happened for me was I decided that I was going to let go of my full-time business, and I was just going to do hair for fun, because I had supplemented my whole full-time income in 5 months, you guys. What I was making out of that business, minus my behind the chair work, I had supplemented with this, what I had called at the time, a side hustle, just a part-time thing. And because it had taken over, I was able to alleviate that. And I thought that was wonderful. Sold my salon very quickly, turned it for a profit. And 5 days after I cashed that check and paid off all of my debt, the salon closed due to the pandemic. So if you want to talk about God's divine timing, I feel like nothing in this world happens by mistake. If you believe in God, nothing in God's world happens by mistake. I decided to say yes to an opportunity that I had no idea what it was. All I knew was that I had people to follow who had done it before me. And I knew that this is one of the most profitable industries in the world. And so I knew, a couple of things. And I bet on myself. There's such low risk. There's no holding inventory. There's no monthly overhead, compared to what I was working with at my business, which cost me $15,000, $20,000 to run every month. That was all gone, which was all of that stress and burden I didn't even realize I was carrying. So letting that go, I decided to pour myself full time, obviously during the pandemic. And while most of my friends were crying and waiting for a stimulus check, my paycheck doubled. And my husband's business closed due to the pandemic. The salon was closed and we were not able to take clients. And online business and online platforms and social selling, taking back our freedom to be able to work in a trade space, people, where back in the day, we used to trade products and services. We used to sell products and services to each other. And that's how we lived. We weren't dependent people. And it had become so clear to me how dependent as a country we had become during this pandemic time. And we were thriving, you guys. We would have lost our home. We would have lost our cars. God forbid we wouldn't, we would have been on welfare, which, a lot of people were stuck in that predicament. And what happened was we had made a decision. That's a lie. I had made a decision. My husband told me that I was freaking nuts. He's like, are you kidding? You're the busiest person I know. You can't do one more thing. I said, you just watch mama work. You tell me I can't, now I have a point to prove. And we proved it. And it's been incredible to watch his perspective on what this thing does completely change. You've never met somebody more passionate now about this platform that was the biggest skeptic. So if you're wondering if something like this is for you, take a deep breath. There's no risk. You have health, you have wellness. These are things, I mean, if you have an incredible product, you guys, which you guys have, a proprietary blended product, something that nobody else can get their hands on, and you have a passion for changing people's lives, this opportunity, you will never find an opportunity like this anywhere else. So I hope that you guys take my word for it. If not, phone a friend, call a lifeline. Julie, thank you so much for asking me to share here today. I am super honored to be able to share my story. Thank you so much. And to get
Love it. Phone a friend, call a lifeline. Coley, so good. And it's so funny what you said about, you know, your husband, Jamie, and I go over to Nicole's house now and I can just see him light up every time we talk about network marketing. And it's so fun to have friends that are in this industry. And that's what this call is about, you guys. This is about just educating you about the industry. Nicole and I aren't in the same company, but we thrive off of each other. And because we know how powerful this industry is. And the fact that she became a 6-figure income in her first year, and the fact that there is more millionaire women, if you're a woman and you want success, there are more women millionaires in network marketing than any other industry. So that was a big one for me. When I heard that, I was like, I need to figure this out. I need to see what this is all about. And truly, it's about being passionate. It's about having heart for other people and caring and wanting to make a difference. And we really, truly do have the golden ticket. So we're a couple minutes over. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Please, the person that invited you to the call will get back to you. Just let them know honestly where you're at. You know, Nicole did say something that was very important. Timing is everything. Timing in your life and where you're at. If you're completely happy and you are thriving and life is beautiful, then this probably isn't for you. But if you're looking for something better, if you're looking for something more, if you are worried about what the future is going to hold for you, by all means, this is such an incredible opportunity for anyone and everyone that wants to do something more with their life. So take a big, good, hard look at your life, get real with yourself, get honest, let the person know who invited you to the call. If you want to hear some more information, 2 p.m., we're going to talk about the products with Kamila. If you want to know more about our incredible products, ask for the link and we'll send you that. And Nicole, mwah, I love you. Jennifer, thank you so much. Rusty, thank you. Everyone have a wonderful Wednesday. We'll talk to you soon. Aloha.